Good morning, everybody. It's your girl Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is October the 20th, 2023, and today the topic is Imagine This. Happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday. I hope that you all had a great Thursday. Mine was just fine. If I give you guys a few highlights from yesterday, man, some good stuff happening, some good stuff in the works. Y'all know that I did my shift over there at Mountain West Church and everything like that. I presented my idea for the Christmas, I guess you would say, lesson plan, and it was well received. We didn't do like a deep dive, so we'll see what people think about like actually looking at everything that was put together. But for the most part, people seem to be pleased. So hey, I'll let y'all know if we'll be doing the lesson plan that your girl came up with, and everything like that. So that's one thing. I also, I guess, am a part of the Christmas production that the church is going to be putting on as well with the kids and whatnot. So, yeah, I mean, I guess I'll figure out exactly what my role is going to be, but who knows? I might be co-writing, establishing some choreography, a variety of things of that nature. So we're going to see what the Lord do, but that is in the works as well. And then last but not least, I want to share with you guys something really, really sweet that happened yesterday. So first I want to shout out to one of my homegirls, Miss London. She decided to bless NJ for his birthday, and she had sent a message. We were talking on the phone briefly, and then she had sent a message saying that, hey, I'm sending over this this cash app for NJ, X, Y, and Z. Maybe we can talk later. Da 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 da. And NJ heard the message and was like, oh, he wanted to send her a message back. And so he did. He sent her a message with, all these kind words and just thanking her for, sending him the money. And he heard something about her saying that she wanted him to be able to get a car. He's like, he's looking forward to getting the cars, X, Y, and Z. But that must have really sparked something in the kid, because next thing I know, he wanted to send messages to my mom and a few of my other friends and things of that nature. So whoever he said he wanted to send a message to, I just pressed the button for him to record a message to them. And everybody, for the most part, that did respond yesterday, seemed to be very touched by him and his kind words. And like I said, man, I just really pray that this little kid, that he, stays this way. I know at some point yesterday I shared with him what my vision was for him and everything like that, and he was like, oh, that's nice and stuff like that. I tried to get him to send, since he was making so many messages, I tried to get him to record a message for himself for the future, but by the time like we got to that, he seemed to be a little bit distracted and stuff. So that message didn't turn out too well, but maybe later that might be something I could try to get to do for him so he can listen back to when he gets older, if the Lord's will. But yeah, that was a really sweet moment and thing that happened yesterday, and I'm just grateful, man. I'm grateful to have instilled these values into him at this early age to be such a blessing, man. He's brought, I've been saying this since the beginning, but here it is again, y'all. I feel like he has brought so much joy to people. Not just me, right? And not just my husband, not just our family, but people outside of our family. Like his presence has brought so much joy. Because again, those that don't know, like one of the first things that I was doing when he was born, I was pretty much in the midst of getting ready to start hustling from home or hustling for myself. And one of the things I want to shout out to Miss Karen, because she's somebody that frequently works with me and whatnot, and she had sent me for this opportunity at a nursing home. And so I went, but I went with the intention to create a intergenerational experience, because I'm a new mom and everything like that. So my son was with me, and he was like just a few months old, well, maybe not. Yeah. I can't remember, but he was still a baby, right? And I would take him to the nursing home, and the joy that those people saw on those people's faces just by him being there. That's what I mean. Like he's been like that, and anywhere he goes, people just gravitate to him and things of that nature, and he makes people smile. And so I pray that he stays this way, and that he continues to be a light, right? A beacon of light and hope and joy. But anywho, this conversation might take a turn, but yeah, that's what yesterday. So let's get into this conversation about the juice, the imagine this part of this juice this morning, because I don't know. We might, like I said, be taking a bit of a turn here from joy in a way, but hopefully we'll come on back, because there is hope. There is hope, but it is kind of dark a little bit as well. So imagine this. So basically, I was inspired this morning. I woke up around 4. I got started with doing the juice and everything around 4:30. I started to listen to the prayer meditation. It was good, but I don't recall it, because as soon as I started listening to it, the phrase "imagine this" came into my heart and mind, and it was in this concept of me painting a picture for you guys came into my heart and mind, and so I decided to go deeper about it, and that's what I intend to do. So, I challenge you today that, this part right here, imagine that everything I'm telling you and saying is true. And then imagine, what does that mean for you in your life, and everything like that. I would say the inspiration for this, outside of being reminded of this morning and what I just told you, something else that happened yesterday, actually before my son started speaking into people's lives. He had came in, my room or whatever, and I was on the phone doing something, just scrolling, probably on YouTube. And every now and then they'll show you shorts and things like that. And there's this person that had a short created that was mentioning Anton LaVey. Apparently that's the writer of the Satanic Bible, creator of the Church of Satan, things of that nature. And they was talking about his last words. Now, this is not the first time I've seen and heard of these things or whatnot, but for whatever reason, it was standing out to me yesterday. So I watched it a couple of times, and basically it was sharing, these last words of Anton LaVey. And we can only, again, speculate like what those last moments of his life was like. Now, again, I have no way to confirm what these were actually his last words. And I even went a little bit deeper today, this morning, as I was looking into it, because I just was like, who recorded these last words? Like, and it doesn't benefit, for example, those that are believing what he believed and things of that nature, to share what his last words were, if these were his last words, and things of that nature. But they are troubling, right? And they are like something to think about. And so they are going to be part of this picture that I want you guys to imagine today. Because again, if we're imagining that everything I'm sharing right now is true, then it's this is what you decide to do with this information. It could be huge. So yeah. So before I get into, I guess, those quotes, because I have a couple of quotes I want to share with you guys in reference to that. But let's start with this. Imagine this, y'all. Imagine what this verse in the Bible says. Imagine that is true. Okay. John 14:6. It says, Jesus saith unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. Let's imagine that that's true. Now I believe it's true, but hey, let's just imagine that it is. For those that don't believe that it's true, that is huge. Like, that separates Jesus from any other idea. I know I talked about all this type of stuff like April 1st, 2020, or sometime after that. I went through this whole journey of like studying like the basics of the Bible and the basics of the Christian belief and things of that nature. But really, I mean, without going into a deep dive, like that right there alone, that verse alone, Jesus saying that I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. That separates like everything. If you truly, truly think about it, like if you allow your mind and your heart to open up and just put aside any biases, then you'll see that that really is a separation of any other idea. And you got to decide whether you believe that or not. But let's say it's true. Like honestly, that is a huge decision, right? To base on just one verse. Now, clearly, there's plenty more things that are said in the Bible, but this is probably like one of the most profound things because, again, if it's true that Jesus is the only way, truth, and life, and that no man can come to the Father except through Him, then what does that mean for any other idea? What does that mean for any other belief? What does that mean for any other narrative to say that, oh, well, you don't need Jesus? I know something, I came across a few things yesterday that, I feel led to share with you guys in the midst of either my, working at the church and coming back home and listening to podcasts and different things like that. And at some point yesterday, I came across this video that it just was pretty much talking about like, I'm trying to think how I can explain it here. Well, I'll tell you what, if it comes back to me, I'll say it. But anyway, basically, like I said, if we start there with that verse of Jesus saying that He's the way, the truth, and the life, and that no man comes to the Father except through Him, then yeah, friend, again, that is a heavy, heavy truth. And we again need to figure out what we're going to do with it. I guess I feel led to share with you guys these quotes. I mean, I was going to tell you guys something else, but that went away from my heart and mind. So let me show you guys these quotes that stood out to me. And again, let's imagine that they are true. Because again, I have no way to confirm because I was with neither one of these gentlemen when they died. But these are the words that has been recorded that you guys can go Google for yourself that they say that these are the last words of these gentlemen. Now, again, Anton LaVey, the apparent creator of the Satanic Church, wrote the Satanic Bible, all this different type of stuff. When I did a deep dive, let me share this part with you guys. I did a deep dive this morning a little bit, and it was talking about like how he got into it and whatever. And one of the things that it mentioned that stood out to me was that apparently he was offended by the hypocrites in the church, and that was something that turned him away from Christ. Listen, look, this is just my little personal thought right here. I'm just throwing that in here before I share his quote, his final quote. If you're gonna allow somebody else, period, let's not even talk about someone else's belief or actions, whatever, someone else, period, to keep you from doing right, to keep you from accepting Christ, then honestly, you can't sit here and blame nobody else. Like, he can't point the finger at those hypocrites in the churches that he witnessed when he grew up, whatever the case is. Because guess what? We all sin and fall short. None of us is perfect. Like, that's the one thing that like when you truly study, you'll see like that's the thing that should humble us all. Like, you know what I mean? Like that should be the one thing to be like, you know what? I need to give my brother, mother, sister, everybody, I need to give everybody grace and mercy, because at the end of the day, I'm not perfect. None of us is perfect. The only one that could do it was Christ. And then that was God in the flesh, like when you break it all down, you know what I mean? And so, like, that should be a humbling thing. But some people allow other people in their walk to affect them in their walk. And then ultimately we try to use those things as a loophole and excuse, but it won't be a loophole nor excuse, because at the end of the day, we all have the personal choice and we all have the free will. So that it might be some pulp today. But there it is. He can't blame those hypocrites in the church for his going down the path that he went. And even I was reading things about, apparently he was, I guess, not believing in Satan, but then saying, I guess his belief system was more so about, I guess, himself being a god or whatever the case may be. Like, it's very interesting. This is very, now, hey, no, I'm just trying to understand the things I've studied. Okay. So to me, I find it to be interesting that you don't believe in Satan, but you create a whole church called Church of Satan, and you write books called the Satanic Bible, and your whole life was preaching the gospel of Satan, of that which you didn't believe was a real entity or whatever. I don't know. I'm just, y'all can help me make that make sense. If y'all can make that make sense, then by all means. I don't fully understand it, but hey, that's what I came across. Y'all can do the Google search yourself. Anton LaVey, ANTON LAVEY. Look it up. That's the stuff it's saying about him. And let me share his what they say his final words is. But like I said, let's imagine everything I'm presenting is true. So let's imagine that these are his final words. I have no way to confirm that. But this is what is being said, that it was his final words. Y'all can, let's just imagine, okay? This is what they say his final words was, y'all. Oh my, what have I done? There's something very wrong. And apparently they said that he said that 3 times. Now listen, I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know. Let's imagine that that's true. So let's imagine that. I don't even know if we want to step in his shoes, but let's just put ourselves in his shoes. And let's just say we spent our whole life denying Christ, writing the Satanic Bible, creating this whole Satanic church that is still available today, mind you. Like, let's put that on the table. So that means your seeds of discord is still flowing and growing. Let's just put, so let's imagine now, this is what we decided to do with our life. And then at the end of our life, this is the last thing that we recorded saying. Imagine what he could have been seeing for him to say that. I don't know. Hey, I can't say it's true. I'm just saying what is Googleable and what they saying is true. Now, here's the interesting thing about that. Like I said, his seeds of discord is still flowing and growing. When I did just a little dive today, the Satan, you can go to, I think it's like either the Satanic church, or no, I think you can go to churchofsatan.com, something like that. You can just go straight to the website, and they boldly proclaim that any idea of him becoming like a deathbed Christian conversion, things like that, they boldly deny that. On the website, they're like, he lived a Satanist, he died a Satanist, and we buried him a Satanist. Like, and they bold about it. They're like, that's what it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the website clearly says that in like bold letters, when in reference to this concept of him becoming a deathbed convert, having the deathbed conversion. So, and here's another thing about him. And then this is just coming from the little research I did this morning. Again, just a little bit of research, just a little Wikipedia, little Google real quick. His whole family is involved in this thing. Like, he had multiple wives, like maybe through maybe through divorces and whatnot. I think I saw at least something about possibly three women. I don't know. I'm just telling you what I saw. I think his main Wikipedia had 1, but then when you click somebody, then they were talking about somebody else, and stuff like that. So I saw at least 3, I think, women that proclaimed to either be wives or girlfriends, whatever. The children is in it. The children took over his church of the entity that he didn't believe in, but centered his life around. And the only ones that I couldn't really find something about was his son, which I saw something about an interview, but I didn't listen to it. So y'all can go do that if you need to. But everybody's involved in this. I think like there might have been one daughter that renounced, but then she's turned to Buddhism. So to me, like as I was looking into all this morning, I just was like, this is again another example of how you matter. You and your decisions truly, truly matter. Like obviously him and his decisions affected his entire family. And some of them are still living today. So that means they still operating in this stuff. And then not only his family, anybody that decided to go down the path that he created. If you decide to read his books, listen to his music, attend the church, any of the things, again, the seeds are still growing and flowing. And that, I mean, let's imagine like imagine what that even looks like and how much blood is on his hands. I guess I'm just thinking now, if these are his last words, I guess I would understand that why I'm saying, oh my, what have I done? Like, let's just stop there. Let's not even get to the whole there is something wrong part, because that's 3 times. Like that's on a whole nother level. That part. Let's just talk about the oh my, what have I done? Yeah, what have you done? Let's ask ourselves that today. Like, what seeds are we sowing? And what impact is that going to make on the world? Like I said, even with me, with my son doing what he was doing yesterday and sending these messages and speaking life and all this type of stuff, he may not fully understand everything he's saying right now. But he already is, proclaiming that, because I'm helping him to understand that because he talks about God and he talks about Jesus. And I'm like, but just understand, son, that Jesus is God. Okay. So when we're talking about God, we're talking about Jesus. Like, I don't know what my son is going to end up to be and do, but I hope and pray that the seeds that I'm sowing today will be encouraging and inspiring for him, right? To at least continue on this path. Now, sure, he's probably going to go through life and have ups and downs and try to, figure things out and all types of things. I'm sure temptation are going to try to knock on his door like it does everybody. But what I hope and pray is that the things that I've instilled will, again, grow and flow in Christ. Because again, we can see just this tiny little look into Anton LaVey shows us what it looks like to do the opposite thing. And we don't want to get to the end of our life and then wonder, what have I done? Listen, I could probably end the juice right now, because that's not that right there by itself. Hopefully will encourage you and inspire you. But I'm gonna share another quote. I'm gonna share another quote I came across, and I'm gonna share the rest of this juice that the Lord gave me this morning. So speaking of Satanists, there's another name that may be familiar to anybody that looks up this type of stuff. It's Aleister Crowley. I think I'm saying it right. They say his last words was, "I am perplexed." Whew. Let's just say it's true. Again, let's imagine it's true now, because again, I have no way to confirm that if these was their last words or not. But these 2 top Satanist figures, these last words are scary, to say the least, to me. Now, I don't know why. Maybe they ain't nothing to you, but to me, I'm like, I would truly, truly hate to be these individuals, and then come to the end of my life, and this is the last thing I have to say on earth. I am perplexed. I'm sure you would be right? If you again live your entire life believing there's no God, believing you are right, believing um all things alternative to Christ and what the Bible got to say. And then you get to the end of your life and find out that you're wrong. I just it's sad. And unfortunately, these people stand out for, again, the works they've done, however evil they may be. And I'm just saying, based on Bible now, I'm not, no judgment for me. The Lord judges at the end of the day, But I'm just saying, if you sow seeds of, doing rituals and all kinds of evil things, I mean, I don't know what else to call it. So that's all I'm saying. And again, I have no way to confirm that these are their last words. I'm just saying this is what Google say. Okay. So again, I'm saying imagine it is. Yeah, I guess you would be perplexed. Because I mean, well, one thing that the Bible does say is that every knee will bow and every tongue will confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. So no matter what you may have thought or felt, and again, you have the free will to choose that all day, every day. But I just pray you're encouraged and inspired to choose Christ, because not only because you don't want to get to the end of your life and then, have these things to say, but also because, I mean, there's just so much good, good and, good fruit and good works and good things that can be coming from you versus the alternative. And why would we go our whole life believing in something that is just going to be right there with us at the end of the day and not in the best way possible? Because they done spent their whole life worshiping and talking about Satan, portraying Satan, doing all this stuff. And this is what the Bible got to say about Satan. Okay. Revelations 20:10. It says, and the devil who had deceived them was thrown into the lake of fire and sulfur, where the beast and the false prophet were, and they will be tormented day and night forever and ever. Why would you want to worship that being that can't do nothing for you? That would be right, like it's dragging you right where he gonna be. Like, I don't understand. I mean, hey, again, let's just say, look, imagine it's true. I'm just saying, let's imagine that everything that the Bible is saying and everything that I've shared today, let's just imagine it's true. That I don't see the point. Like, why would you? I mean, at least Christ is saying he, is offering life and life more abundantly. I mean, so torture and tormented day and night. And I don't know if it's the physical torment or just the mental torment. I'm sure either one is terrible. Who wants to go through life or the eternity forever and ever with torment, with the very thing that dragged you down with it? Can't do nothing for you. Can't. There's a lot of things, honestly, to say, but let me just keep going. I'm trying to just keep going through this, y'all. I ended up going deeper, in one of the articles. There's plenty of articles that you guys can look up in regards to all of this stuff. Look into Satanism, look into all of that stuff. Look into it. I say go to godquestions.org or places, biblical places or things of that nature. Even if you gotta go to those, make sure I told you what it said. Make sure anything that I'm telling you is being said correctly. Go and look it up. There's an article there at godquestions.org, and it's called "Will There Be a Second Chance for Salvation After Death?" Because again, like, right, these individuals, for example, like if they are at the end of their life and now they see, now they know, like, will there be a chance for them to change their mind once they are gone? Short answer, I hate to give you guys more pulp, But it seems like the answer is no. Because you get in chance after chance after chance after chance after chance here on earth. Speaking of that, Luke 16:31, it says, he said to him, if they do not hear Moses and the prophets, neither will they be convinced if someone should come from the dead. You guys can go deeper about all of that, because that's from obviously the account about the rich man and Lazarus. And people have all these things to say, like, why don't God just crack the sky now? Why don't God just reveal himself? Why don't Jesus just come back? Like, people say all these different type of things to say, like, oh, if God just did this or that, then people will believe. Christ walked earth and people still didn't believe. You know what I mean? Like, so really, it's you and your unrepentant heart at the end of the day. If you choose not to believe, that's because it's you and your heart refuses to believe, regardless of what proof is presented to you. So, yeah, y'all can go deeper about all of that. You guys can see again what the rich man had to say. He wasn't trying to repent. He wasn't trying to, do anything. Like, his request was for Lazarus, the one that he didn't even give crumbs to he asked for him to bring him some water. And then he asked, well, can you send somebody to warm my brothers? Those were his requests. It wasn't nothing about, I want to be saved, or, stuff like that. So those are just things to think about. Like, I mean, let's just imagine, these things are true. And, I don't know. I really wouldn't want to be on the wrong side of this conversation, y'all. Like, I wouldn't want to be any of these individuals that I done shared today. The rich man, Anton LaVey, Aleister Crowley, the other gentleman I've been talking about like all year, he keep coming to my mind, Christopher Hitchens. Like, any of these people that are like just being so bold to point up their middle fingers to the Lord. Like, it just don't look good. Like, as I was going deeper, and like I said, I got questions.org and looking into that article. Here's a quote that really, really stood out to me. And I'm going to share. Here it is. By the works of the law is no flesh justified. Therefore, all who are judged by their works and thoughts are condemned to hell. This is why we need Christ, y'all. At the end of the day, like I said earlier, we have all sinned and fallen short. Like, none of us is worthy. Like, it's not, people go say all the time, well, I'm a good person. No, none of us is good. Not one. The Bible's clear about that. There's literally a verse that says, no, not one. Christ had to do it for, like, God had to come down in the form of a man to do this for us. And all we have to do is accept. Now, I'm just talking about Bible now. I'm talking about Bible. This is what it say. So all we have to do is accept that. And see, here's another thing I feel like I need to put on the table as well. Saying you're a believer and not living according is still, it's still unbelief. And I'm sure I'm guilty. I've been guilty of that. I'm not perfect now either. You know what I'm saying? I know I need Christ though, and I'm doing my best to try to live accordingly these days. But I'm just saying, like, the works and thoughts, this idea only God can judge me. Yeah, you're right. Yes, only God can judge you, and he will. Now, either he can judge you by looking at you as a believer in Christ, and that your life reflected that, or he can look at your deeds and things and tell you, hey, what he already told you is not, it's like filthy rags before him. Like, your righteousness is filthy rags. I know that sounds bad, but you guys, I mean, look, choose you this day who you gonna serve, y'all. I mean, ultimately, man, I don't know. I know this is a lot to reflect on, and I know that, again, it may not be the most inspiring message in regards to like uplifting. But it should be, because again, the great news is that, there is a way. And I shared that way in the beginning. Jesus, he said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. Man, there's something that keeps coming to my heart and mind to share with y'all about that, but then I keep forgetting what it is. Am I supposed to share, Lord, or is it just for me? Or maybe it's just for people that watch the after show. I don't know. But anyway, y'all, these are things to think about, y'all. I hope that you're encouraged and inspired to get closer to the Lord today. We don't want to, again, get to the end of our life and be like any of the other people that I've shared, the rich man in the Bible, the two individuals that were advocates for Satan. Like, you just really don't want to. I mean, I would hope and pray that you don't want to experience that. But hey, man, I guess ultimately the juice this morning, what is the juice? Well, if you can imagine these things, and if any of these things are, I guess, pricking your heart and mind today to think like, you know what, I might need to change some stuff, then hey, man, I pray that you guys go deeper about all this. I pray that you're encouraged and inspired to get closer to the Lord, because I mean, ultimately, that's the juice this morning, because there's only two choices at the end of the day, according to the Bible. And, I just pray that you make the right one, man. Guess I'm gonna leave it at that. Like I said, if the other stuff come back to my heart and mind, I'll try to share it. But if not, I mean, that's all I can say about that. Now, the Bible verse of today is Matthew 7:7. It says, "Ask and it shall be given you. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and it shall be open unto you," friends. I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and the Juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Now, just a reminder, today is Friday, so we have a new episode of the GSL Talk Show that's coming out at 7 p.m. It's with Miss Krista Mellinson, and she has an amazing testimony that I think you guys want to check out. So, yeah, man, 7 p.m. tonight on the God, Sex, and Love YouTube channel. And yeah, man, y'all have a wonderful, wonderful Friday. And I look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. There you go. Facebook, YouTube, Rumble. Anybody listening to the sound of my voice, I hope that you all are encouraged and inspired. Yeah, I know that this might have been a little heavy this morning, It might have been a little tangy, a little pulpy juice. Y'all been like, Miracle, you a little hellfire message this morning. Talk about hell. Hey, man, listen, I'm just trying to do my part. You know what I mean? If me sharing today has helped you, right, to avoid that place, then by all means, to God be the glory. Yeah, man, that's something that kept coming back into my heart and mind to say, but then it kept going away. So again, I don't know if it was something I was supposed to share with you guys or something that's just supposed to stay on my heart. I'm trying to see if I can remember, just in case it was important. Let me look at this stuff here. I think I shared everything. Let me see. I shared all the verses, didn't I? Yep. I shared the quote. I don't know. Well, I really hate to say it, to not say whatever it might be. Let me see. Okay, Jesus said I'm the only way. That's it. Maybe that's it, y'all. Let me think. Make sure. Well, what y'all think about them quotes? Y'all comment below and tell me what y'all think about like those last words of those individuals. That's sad. To me, I think it's very sad. And I really, really, really would not like to get to the end of my life and feel like I wasted it, or feel like, what did I do? Or feel confused about like what's happening and stuff like that. Like I just, yeah. Okay. Well, I can't think of whatever else that was on my heart and mind earlier. So y'all charged that to my head and not my heart. Again, maybe it was just something for me and not for y'all. But yeah, that's it, y'all. Yeah, that's it. Y'all have a wonderful Friday. And yeah, man, I look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye.